everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Sinisha, and I'm gonna continue showing how to configure your Gecko theme or check together with you all of the options that are available in Gecko Customizer. In previous episodes, we already handled the site options, global colors, appearance, and theme, and in today's episode, we're gonna cover everything that is included in the blog settings as well as the widget settings. So let's get straight into it. When we open the settings, we can immediately see some layout options like showing the sidebars on blog posts. And if I disable that, sidebars will still be showing because this is the setting related to the blog page. So if I open the blog page, then my sidebar are not gonna show. Okay, if I enable them back, they will be showing on this particular, this is the single page. Okay, and if I come back to the blog page, and limit words on blog page option will allow me to automatically add read more. You see how all of my blog posts here have read more option? So there's a featured image, title, paragraph, and then read more, except this one, okay? An admin or whoever wrote this article forgot to add the read more, and I can use this limit words on blog page in order to create automatic read more for this article, you see? And the number of words, if limit is enabled, by default it's 55, but let's put it 300, for example. And now it will create a read more after 300 words. Let's bring that back to 55 how it was. And this show update on post meta will simply not show this updated date in the post meta. So if I enable that or disable it, now you will see there is no updated date. And max height of the post featured image in the blog view will simply determine the max height of these images. And if you use percents, it will be harder to see. So I'm going to use pixels and say 50 pixels is the max height of this image, and it will automatically shrink it down to 50 pixels. You can put 200 pixels if you want, or simply use percents to show the entire image. Let's publish all of these changes. And now we're gonna move to the grid layout on the blog page. There are only just a few options here which will determine how our blog page is going to be shown. Do we want to show it as it is now? Or maybe we can decide to use the grid layout and put our articles in a grid like this. Okay, it's a masonry grid, and it will automatically fit the empty space where needed. Okay, we can do the same thing for the archives page and search page even. As for the single post, max height of the post featured image will simply influence the featured image height on the single post. And to open the single post, we need to open any of these blocks. So now max height of the post featured image is 100%, but if we reduce it to, let's say, 50 pixels, we achieve basically the same thing that we did, but on the single post page. Let's bring that to 100%. And finally, we have the search results page. In order to open the search result page, let's search for something. Let's search for community maybe. And now this is our search page. It found all of our blogs, even the sample page by default that you got with the WordPress. And here we can adjust few of the options. Let's say we don't want to show the sidebars on this page. We can simply disable them. We don't want this sidebar either. Okay, now we have the entire page dedicated only to search results. Okay, and if you don't want to show the header menu for whatever reason, you can choose not to, but I don't see why. Now, enable full width layout, enable full width header, you cannot really see here in the customizer. Okay, so I'm going to do that on the front page of the website. So I'm just gonna search for community one more time. And now you see how my page is boxed. It's not stretched through the entire screen. Okay, if I enable this, enable full width layout and publish the preset, now when I refresh the page, my site is going to be stretched through the entire real estate of the screen. I can do the same thing for the header. You see how it's boxed? There is a lot of empty space over here and over there. And I can choose to enable full width header if I want. Publish it, refresh this page, and now this is only applied for my search page. All my other pages will not be affected. If I go to community, you see how my site is still boxed, but if I go back to search page, it's stretched through the entire screen, and these are the options that will do just that. I'm going to revert them how it was. Like I said, you cannot really see that in the customizer because the screen real estate itself, but on the site it's clear as day. You can see how it cut off. And with that, we completed all of the options in the blot settings for the Gecko Customizer. So let's get back to categories and open and see what do we have in widgets. Widgets are all of this little side content that you add in your sidebar, and you can control how they look by default. You can still go and change the individual widget in the widget itself, but here we are going to set some defaults. Okay, so default widget background, you see that is white, and I can change that to be maybe blue if I want, and you will see how all of my widgets are suddenly turning blue. You can keep it like this, for example, if you want, if that fits your color scheme. And then you can go to the widget and change those colors on the widget level. So I'm going to show you how to do that just now. Let's say this oddly blue and dark is my default for, just bear with me. Then we can go to the widgets in appearance widgets. And here in the sidebar left, I can open this widget, choose the different style, let's say gradient, and then choose the different colors for my widget. All right, let's do something like this, or that color is gonna be very white, and update the page, go back to the community, and you see how this widget now has completely different color than the default. But I don't like these colors, so what I'm going to do is, instead of gradient style, I'm going to revert it back to default, update, refresh the page. Now my widget is gonna get the default from Gecko, and I'm gonna go back to Gecko Customizer, widgets, wait for the page to load, and I am going to revert it back to white how it was. Totally white, like this. And that's the option that will allow you to change the default background and default text color for your widgets. But you can still go into each individual widget and override that setting. Now, when it comes to gradient widgets, we can choose the style for the widget to be gradient, like I did with this one, but I already have the gradient widget over here. And in order to choose the style, you will have to go back to the widgets, then choose the style of a widget. Let me show you real quick in a new tab. So appearance, widgets. It's in the sidebar right, okay. Choose that widget and choose the widget style to be gradient, all right. We do not change the colors here. If you want, you can, but we are going to change the colors in the Gecko Customizer. Right about here in the gradient widgets. So I can choose to change the top color of the gradient. Bottom color of the gradient. So I can make it something like this maybe. And I can change the text color, lens color, and lens hover color. Sticky top and sticky under were basically the same thing, but for the widgets that will be displayed on the above header on your website, and likewise below header or under header. You see there's a very same options that you can choose with background color, text color, lens colors, and stuff like that. Display on desktop, display on mobile. These are the options that will influence how your sticky top and sticky top under the and above the header widget positions are going to be displayed. So I'm not going to spend too much time explaining them because it's all the same thing with the colors and number of columns that we already saw in the footer widgets. So it's basically the same thing for the different widget positions. Sticky top, mobile app, top widgets, bottom widgets, all the same thing, right? Number of columns. You cannot choose the colors here because it's in the body of the website, but you can still choose the number of colors for widgets that will be displayed on the top of your website, on the bottom of your website, above content, and under content. And that leaves us with one more option left to discuss, and that is the PeepSo category or general PeepSo settings. But that will be discussed in the separate episode because there is way too many options there to cover in this one. So I wish to invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. If you wish to be notified when new video comes out, hit that bell notification icon too. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We are present there as well, and links will be under the like button in the description below. Until the next video, I wish you all the best. Bye!